Hi, I'm Roy Schwartzman from UNC Greensboro. I'm going to give a brief overview of some of the opportunities and potential agenda items that communication centers and scientists can have as they seek to work more closely together for mutual benefit. And in fact, that is my first point. How do we energize synergies between scientists and communication centers? Basically, what we need to do is find what the concrete benefits are to scientists and the scientific community, including students, from working with communication centers. What are the added benefits? Or as assessment folks would say, what's the value added of a communication center being part of a scientific education? Second, we need to find out what the benefits are to communication centers, not simply just in increasing the clientele, but in expanding the capacity of what communication centers can offer both the university community and also the public at large. And that is the final synergy we need to think about. That is, what is the overall public good that is served by communication centers and scientists cooperating not only for their benefit, but for the benefit of the public in general, places that all of us are accountable to, such as policymakers, such as the families of students, such as the residents of our state. Now, I have a few ideas on how we might be able to strengthen these relationships between scientists and communication centers. First, I suggest that we implement a model of the speaker scientist, just like you hear about student athletes. How about speaker scientists, where oral communication becomes a necessary and expected component of scientific training? Indeed, we need to rethink the idea of science as a communicative act rather than simply technical training, and embed communication education within the preparation of scientists. Second, we can improve the translation of more technical scientific findings into language that is accessible. And not just language that's accessible, but to talk about scientific findings and the scientific method in ways that non-specialists can not only understand, but also relate to. That brings us to our final point and kind of the open challenge that I'm going to leave you with. I would suggest that we need to encourage what I call mutual fluencies, not literacies, because that sounds like if you're not either not literate or literate, it's kind of a deficit model, but encourage fluencies that go both ways. First, encourage greater scientific fluency among the public, a deeper understanding and appreciation of what things such as probabilities mean in science and their implications for public policy. Second, and this is kind of an untapped area that I think has a lot of opportunities, maybe there's an opportunity to transcend simply covering delivery factors in communication education and collaborate with scientists in becoming more fluent in the ways that non-specialists reason and think about science. I call this heuristic fluency. For example, there's a lot of evidence that many members of the general public filter their beliefs about science and technology through religious convictions. Well, how do you talk about science and technology in ways that are compatible with religious convictions? How do we help people understand the nature of uncertainty so that it's not simply a matter of saying, well, all scientific findings on a subject are discounted as soon as there is one disconfirming study? Now that sounds like a tall order, but I think it's quite possible if we understand that the training, the fluency, needs to work both ways, both from scientists to the public and the public to scientists. By facilitating those kinds of interchanges, the communication center is positioned in a very good place to move that agenda forward.